Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am absolutely thrilled that you are here with me today. Before we dive into our main topic, let me start by asking you a very quick, very honest question. What if I told you one of the most common fundamental English phrases taught in classrooms and schools all around the world actually sounds oddly formal, a little distant, and even strange to many native speakers today? I am talking about the absolute classic response that we all know. Fine, thank you, and you. Now, before anyone panics or feels uncomfortable, let me be absolutely 100% clear. There is absolutely nothing wrong with this sentence. If you look at it from purely a grammatical standpoint, it is completely perfect. It is polite, it is respectful, and every single native speaker you will meet will understand exactly what you mean. No one is going to be confused. But here is the interesting part that they don't teach you in school. Most native speakers simply do not say it very often anymore in real, everyday conversation. Imagine a completely normal situation. You are walking into work in the morning, grabbing your daily coffee, or running into a neighbor on your street. Someone looks at you, smiles, and says, "Hey, how are you?" For millions of English learners, the automatic heralded response is, "Fine, thank you. And you?" And while that answer is perfectly correct, to modern ears, it can sound a little too formal, a little too stiff, and slightly disconnected from the natural, casual rhythm of modern conversation. Think about it this way. Textbooks are excellent at teaching us how to produce the correct answer for an exam. But real human conversations, they aren't about passing a test. They are about creating a connection. And that is exactly what we are going to talk about today. By the end of this video, you will understand the exact cultural and structural reasons why "fine, thank you" and "you" often sounds a bit unnatural to us. More importantly, you'll learn what native speakers typically say instead, and how to make your English sound more relaxed, friendly, and authentic. Let's jump right in. Before we learn any new phrases or specific formulas, we need to understand something fundamental and deeply rooted in English speaking culture, particularly in North America. When someone walks past you and says, "How are you? How's it going? What's up?" Let's be totally honest for a moment. They are usually not asking for a deeply detailed 20-minute medical, financial, or emotional report about your life. most of the time, they are not looking for a long explanation of your current emotions, your career struggles, or your family drama. Instead, this entire interaction is what we call a social ritual. It is a linguistic tool. It is our cultural way of saying, I see you. I'm being friendly. Let's connect for just a brief moment as we go about our day. Think of it as a verbal high five. Let's look at a physical high five for a second. When someone gives you a high five in passing, you don't grab their hand, stop them from walking, and start a deep conversation about the history of high fives. Of course not. You hit their hand, you match their physical energy, and the conversation continues naturally. Daily small talk works the exact same way. You acknowledge the gesture, you match the energy, and the conversation continues naturally. Now let's talk about the specific word fine. In many classrooms around the world, we are taught a very simple, flat equation. Good equals positive. Fine equals positive. But real living language is full of subtle nuance. To many native speakers, the word fine actually sounds completely neutral rather than positive. And depending entirely on your tone of voice and body language, it can even sound slightly negative, defensive, or annoyed. Let me show you exactly what I mean. Let's look at two different scenarios. Imagine this first scenario. Hey, how are you? I'm fine. That is perfectly acceptable. But notice the flat energy. It feels a bit cold. Now listen to how much the atmosphere shifts when you use these modern phrases. Hey, how are you? Pretty good. Or, I'm doing great. Or, not bad. Can you feel the difference? The second group of responses feels significantly warmer, more energetic, and far more inviting. It makes the other person feel more comfortable. And here is something funny that you might have noticed. In movies and TV shows, you will very often hear a dramatic conversation that goes exactly like this. Are you okay? I'm fine. Just fine? No. Suddenly, the word fine doesn't sound very positive anymore. In fact, in modern relationships, saying I'm fine means the exact opposite. It means something is definitely wrong. The truth is that native speakers often pay much more attention to your energy and your tone of voice rather than your exact vocabulary choices. A cheerful, relaxed, Pretty good often sounds far more natural and authentic than a robotic, text perfect, I'm fine, thank you, and you. Now let's look at the other side of this conversation. What if you want to be the one starting the interaction? What if you walk into a room and want to greet a friend or a colleague? What you can say instead of the classic, repetitive, how are you? Let's break down 3 elevated, highly effective alternatives that native speakers use every single day. Option number 1, how's it going? This is probably the most common, versatile, and useful alternative in modern English today. It is casual, it is incredibly friendly, and it works almost everywhere you can think of. You can use it with coworkers, in the hallway, classmates before a presentation, neighbors outside, friends, and even many of your professional clients. One quick tip here for you to help your fluency and pronunciation. Notice how native speakers blend the words smoothly together. We don't say, how is it going? We blend it like a single word. How's it going? It is simple, it is natural, and it is highly effective. Let's try it out loud together. How's it going? Perfect. Option number 2. How's your week going? This is one of my absolute personal favorites to use, especially when you hit Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. This question is brilliant because it is slightly more specific than a generic greeting, which instantly makes you feel more genuine and thoughtful to the listener. Instead of asking about someone's entire life in a vague way, you are simply asking about their current weekly experience. It feels friendly, it feels polite without feeling intrusive at all. And because it is specific, it often leads to much better, much more interesting conversations. Option number 3. What's keeping you busy these days? This is a fantastic question to keep in your vocabulary, especially when you are reconnecting with someone you haven't seen in a few weeks or a few months. It naturally encourages people to open up and talk about whatever matters most to them right now in their lives. Maybe it's a big project at work, maybe it's family life, maybe it's a creative hobby or a personal goal. And notice the massive difference between this question and the somewhat dry professional question, what do you do for a living? That old question can feel like a business interview, but asking, what's keeping you busy these days, feels deeply conversational, light, open, and engaging. Now, let's flip the situation completely around. Someone walks up to you, throws out that verbal high five, and asks, "Hey, how are you?" How should you respond to sound natural and confident? To make your life easy, I want to give you a very simple, bulletproof formula that you can memorize right now. Positive answer plus small detail. That small detail acts like conversational bait. It gives the other person a natural, easy hook to respond so the conversation doesn't awkwardly die in silence. Let's look at some practical, everyday examples. Scenario A. You're having a great day. Instead of just saying a flat, "I'm great," try adding a spark of context. Doing great. I just finished a big project at work. Or, really good. I just got back from a weekend trip. Notice how you've made the conversation easy for the other person. They don't have to struggle to think of what to say next. They can naturally smile and ask, "Oh, really? Where did you go?" Or, "Congrats on the big project." The conversation literally builds itself. Scenario B. You are having a normal, average day. This is where 90% of our daily conversation happens. Nothing amazing is happening, but nothing terrible is happening either. Just a regular, ordinary day. Instead of resorting to "I'm fine," try these highly common, effective alternative expressions. Pretty good. Doing well. Not bad. Can't complain. These phrases are incredibly common among native speakers. For example, listen to this rhythm. "Hey, how's it going?" "Can't complain, just trying to get through the week. How about you?" That is natural, it is friendly, and it feels completely effortless for both people. Scenario C. You're busy, you're tired, and you're stressed. Here is the good news about real English. You never have to pretend that your life is absolutely perfect. You can be honest while still keeping the conversation light and pleasant. Try phrases like, "Surviving. It's been a crazy week." Or, "Hanging in there. I've been running on coffee lately." Or even, "Busy, but in a good way." These responses feel authentic, real, and transparent. And because they are slightly humorous, the other person often relates to them immediately with a smile and say, "Oh, I know exactly what you mean." As we wrap up today's video, if there is one single thing, one single core truth that I want you to take from today's discussion, it's this. Fluency is not about finding the perfect response. Fluency is entirely about creating a connection. Many English learners spend years and years searching for the absolute correct response because that is exactly how language is taught and tested in schools. But real human conversations don't work like school exams. There is no hidden answer sheet. There is no grading rubric. And there is no single perfect response. Real conversations are more like music. They depend entirely on rhythm, on timing, on your energy, and the natural, relaxed flow of conversation between two human beings. The ultimate goal of language isn't perfection. It's to create a connection. So the next time someone looks at you, smiles, and asks, "How are you?" Don't panic. Don't overthink the grammar rules. And please don't automatically reach for the old textbook response, "Fine, thank you," and you. Instead, take a deep breath, smile, and try something fresh. Pretty good. Can't complain. Doing well. Or it may be surviving, need more coffee. You will instantly sound more natural. You'll feel more relaxed in your own skin, and you will connect with people much more easily and confidently. Now, I'd absolutely love to hear from you. Which of these new phrases are you going to try out this week? Drop your choice in the comment section below, and I will be reading through them. If you found this video helpful, insightful, or encouraging, please don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel for more real-world English tips and share it with another English learner who is ready to step out of that textbook trap. Thank you so much for watching today. And as always, have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.